But the great thing is that they won. The show has won. And
You all
Brian,
voted.
you put this all together. You all did it. So yay for everybody. And we want you all to have a great day. Take a little time to enjoy the view. And, you know, when you start to feel bad, like you don't know what you're doing, we're all in it together. We're going to figure it out together. We'll see you tomorrow.
This is ABC 7 News at Noon.
Hello, everyone. Coming up this noon, a search is underway for a Winslow man who has been missing since Sunday. Also, Drug Take-Back Day is on Saturday. We'll hear what we all need to do to dispose of unneeded medications. And a group of credit union workers spends their day off packing hundreds of meals for Maine families. We'll have that story as well. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Craig Colson, sitting in this afternoon for Susan Farley. We thank you for joining us. We'll have those stories along with the latest on the Iran war coming up. But first, we're going to check in with Devin Biggs on that forecast. Boy, it started off on the cool side this morning. When I went out to work around 3:30 this morning, it was down, well, it was in the 20s still, which just a few weeks ago didn't seem that cold, but now it feels very cold. The good news is things are warming up today into the 40s at least, and there's some bright sunshine out there to enjoy as well. All right, let's turn things over to Devin to get a first look at that forecast.
Alrighty, happy Tuesday afternoon. It's a nice one out there, and we're going to stay quiet today with just some passing clouds. And overall, that's about it. We're watching some activity to the north and west, but with high pressure being in dominant control, we're going to hold off on any precipitation for a little while yet. Futurecast showing some clouds developing this afternoon. So overall, that's going to be the only issue that we will be watching out for today, and really that's not going to be much of an issue for us. We will be clearing out later on tonight from the clouds, but by tomorrow, high pressure is going to be tracking off towards the east. And then once we head towards your Wednesday, in addition to clouds, we will have more precipitation moving in. And not only will we see possibly some snow across the state, but some rain will be mixing in too. Now, the winds won't be much of a problem. We might still see a few gusts up to 10, maybe 15 miles per hour. Otherwise, most of us staying quiet, but everyone will get involved with a little bit of wind tomorrow, up to around 20 miles per hour. So for today, again, dry, partly cloudy, upper 40s for the high, and our west wind at about 5 miles per hour. Overnight, partly cloudy still, middle 20s overnight, and the wind overall looking nice and calm. Hourly forecast moving forward, a partly to even mostly cloudy sky. Temperature is in the 40s, and then cooling off. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
All right, thank you, Devin. We'll look forward to that. Well, first this noon, with the ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran just 1 day away from expiring, today, U.S. officials say Vice President J.D. Vance is expected to travel to Pakistan for a last-ditch effort of negotiations. Iran hasn't shared any plans to attend, but according to reports, said today it is a country that will not yield, but would participate in talks conducted with courtesy and respect. ABC's Christiane Cordero is tracking the latest from Washington.
Today, with the clock ticking on the U.S. and Iran's fragile ceasefire, U.S. officials say Vice President J.D. Vance is expected to travel to Pakistan for a second round of negotiations. Iran's government says it is willing to participate if talks are conducted with courtesy, respect, and recognition of the other side, though it's unclear if an Iranian delegation plans to come to the table in Pakistan. When asked what happens if there isn't at least a prospect of a deal by tomorrow night, the president telling CNBC this.
Well, I expect to be bombing because I think that's a better attitude to go in with. But we're ready to go. I mean, the military is raring to go.
President Trump is trying to up the pressure, insisting he is not interested in extending the ceasefire. The president adds if no long-term deal is reached by tomorrow, quote, lots of bombs start going off. Iran, with threats of its own, says it's prepared to reveal new cards on the battlefield. And overnight, the U.S. military seized another Iranian-linked ship, this time in the Indo-Pacific. Troops repelled from helicopters and boarded what the Defense Department says was a sanctioned vessel, as it vows to crack down on any ship supporting Iran's efforts. Regarding the war's impact on gas prices, U.S. oil exports are surging, but even those numbers fall well short of what passed through the Strait of Hormuz before the war started, leading analysts to believe gas prices will not change until the strait reopens. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
Well, back home in Maine, police are asking for help in finding a missing man from Winslow. Police say 24-year-old Zachary Crothers has developmental disabilities, and his family is concerned about his safety. He was last seen around 3:40 Sunday, leaving his home in Winslow. Zachary is 5 foot 6 inches tall, weighing between 125 and 130 pounds. He also has blue eyes, light brown hair, and patchy facial hair. If you see him or have information about his whereabouts, please call Winslow Police at 872-5215. A bipartisan effort in Washington led by Senator Collins has secured more than $4.3 million in additional federal heating assistance. Collins says the LIHEAP program, which helps low-income families and seniors pay for heating costs, is vital for many Maine residents. The latest funding comes from the federal level, where remaining LIHEAP funds had been held up. Collins, along with Rhode Island Senator Jack Reed, led a bipartisan effort urging the Office of Management and Budget to release that money. Collins says the program is crucial, with about 45,000 Maine households relying on it to stay warm during the winter.
I'm pleased that we've been successful in getting the rest of this money released to the state. Both of us care a great deal about making sure that no senior citizen or low-income family in Maine has to choose between keeping warm and other necessities during the cold winter months.
Well, Collins emphasizes that this year's need has been especially high due to colder temperatures and rising heating oil prices. For more information on the Heating Assistance Program, you can visit our website, foxbangor.com. Prescription Drug Take-Back Day is coming up this Saturday. It's an opportunity for folks to clean out their medicine cabinets and keep community safe. Our Callie Warren with more.
Prescription Drug Take-Back Day happens twice a year, every year. And every year, the Holden Police Department sees over 100 pounds of unwanted prescription medication disposed of.
Yeah, just the risk of those prescriptions can be like stolen or misused.
Holden Police Chief Eddie Benjamin is encouraging everyone to safely dispose of unwanted drugs and medication. He says they should never be flushed down the toilet or placed in a trash can, but rather taken to a disposal drop box. And the perfect opportunity is on Saturday.
Drug Take Back Day. They do one time in the spring, one time in the fall. So if you get a chance, please bring your unused medication to us on Saturday between 10 in the morning and 2 p.m. and we'll be gladly dispose that for you.
Not all medications can be placed in these drop boxes. Unacceptable items include liquids and sharps. However, your local police department may be able to help you dispose of those items as well.
If you have a couple of syringes, you can bring to us here. We have a disposal box and you can make sure that it's disposed safely.
For those at the Bangor Area Recovery Network who work with individuals in all stages of recovery, they say that the importance of properly disposing of your prescription medications cannot be overstated.
Being able to make sure that we can dispose of it safely in the right way to protect others is really important. So you want to make sure that that is out of reach or disposed of correctly, because honestly, anything can happen, and I've seen it.
There are so many options available for safe disposal of unwanted medications. Visit our website, foxbangor.com, for more information. Callie Warren reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
In other news this noon, the current commissioner of the Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife is stepping down from her role with that agency and stepping into a new one as president of Maine Audubon. Judy Camuso served the Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife for nearly 2 decades and was appointed commissioner in 2019. She was the first woman to lead that agency. Her new role at Maine Audubon is actually a homecoming of sorts, as Camuso began her career there nearly 30 years ago as a seasonal biologist and a staff naturalist. She will also be the first woman to lead Maine Audubon since its founding more than 100 years ago. With Mother's Day coming up and spring underway, you may want to bring flowers and plants into your home or give them as gifts. But if you have furry friends in your home, local veterinarians say you really need to be careful. Many household plants and flowers can cause harm to your pets, especially if you have cats. Lilies are extremely dangerous to cats, and even being around their pollen can cause death. For dogs, ingesting any part of the lily flower can also cause gastrointestinal issues. If you have lilies and notice any bite marks on the plants, vets say you should bring your cats in immediately. Daffodils, tulips, hydrangeas, rhododendrons, and others can cause issues if ingested for both cats and dogs, and can be severe in some cases. However, roses, orchids, sunflowers, petunias, and Gerber daisies are safe and non-toxic. Veterinarians advise pet parents to do their research before bringing any blooms into their homes.
Especially for the cats and the lilies, it is very concerning and very hard, because you just bought someone you love flowers for a happy holiday, and then your pet gets very, very ill. The times to really call the vet and be really concerned is when they're really dumpy, they're not wanting to eat, they're not acting themselves.
Once again, that is foxbangor.com. And coming up on ABC 7 News at noon, the latest on a deadly shooting attack in Mexico that sent tourists running for their lives. And we'll also see what Mr. Food is cooking up today. Don't go away.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
You know what today is? It's Tuesday. Just reminding you that whatever day of the week you get hurt, we're your go-to lawyers. If you've been hurt, call us right now.
Hurt in an accident, what do you do? Call 222-2222.
When I was 29, I was diagnosed with cancer. And I think part of research and advocating for more money for cancer research allows survivors to have more time. Senator Collins supports and advocates for more funding for cancer research so that people can have better treatments, they can have better outcomes, and therefore they can live better lives as cancer survivors. Thank you, Senator Collins. Continue fighting for our families.
Falls are the #1 cause of injury to senior citizens. Acorn Stairlifts has the solution. Just don't fall. Sit, relax, ride with an Acorn Stairlift, the world's leader in stairlifts. Don't let limited mobility keep you from going up and down your stairs, even outside. Call Acorn Stairlifts now for a free information kit and no obligation quote. Why risk falling when you can safely ride?
Our Acorn Stairlift is definitely more affordable than moving.
The Acorn Stairlift has a padded seat and backrest. Safety sensors stop the chair if there are obstacles. The seat swivels and locks so you don't twist your body. And the Acorn Stairlift folds away. It even runs during power outages.
I was really surprised at how little it cost.
Call 1-800-732-2971 right now for your free information kit, or visit our website today. That's 1-800-732-2971.
Cancer affects everyone, but there is hope at Northern Light Eastern May Medical Center's Champion the Cure Challenge, where every dollar raised helps patients in our own backyard. Make a difference. Walk, run, or cycle August 15th in Brewer. Visit ctcchallenge.org.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. Now to the deadly shooting at one of Mexico's most popular tourist destinations. 6 Americans were among the injured when a gunman opened fire at an ancient pyramid site just outside Mexico City. ABC's Matt Rivers has the very latest.
This morning, 6 Americans injured in this shocking attack at one of the most well-known tourist destinations in the world. A man opening fire at the Teotihuacan pyramids, killing a Canadian woman. A closer look, and you can see him holding a gun, pacing near the top of one of the pyramids. Tourists fleeing as shots rang out.
And you just keep hearing gunshots going off.
3 of the Americans who were injured speaking out.
Some of the tourists started screaming, ducking, and running, and chaos really started taking hold.
People started screaming, running towards those ledges.
Yeah, get out of there.
Friends Greg Magadini, Jalen Abar, and Jaslim Landaverde were among those pinned down when the gunman opened fire.
Everybody kind of just started screaming and like going in all different directions. And obviously, you know, we're at the top of a pyramid, so the only exit is really like the bottom of this like the stairs, but then the stairs are so steep.
They waited until the gunman turned his back before attempting to escape, jumping to the landing below.
The drop is about 15 feet. So really what we did is we kind of try to hold on with our hands and kind of extend our full body length and then let ourselves drop from there.
You can see them on the right of the screen, crouching and hugging the wall. Greg and Jalen sustaining minor injuries, but Jaslim injuring her foot badly.
I just couldn't run fast enough because my foot was like giving out on me at that point.
As the gunman turned to climb the pyramid, the rest of the trapped tourists began running for their lives. Authorities later opening fire on the gunman as he fled, authorities identifying the shooter as Julio Cesar Hasso Ramirez. Officials say the shooter later took his own life.
It was really scary because you just don't know how many gunmen there are. You know, what are they shooting at?
Once you see what the situation is and you know it's an active shooter, then you kind of, I just had this pit in my stomach that was.
Moving on to other news now, nearly 400 pounds of cocaine worth millions seized from a semi-truck in Indiana. Investigators say Indiana State Police pulled the semi over for speeding on Interstate 70 in Putnam County on Monday. Investigators say troopers noticed some suspicious criminal indicators and eventually obtained permission to search the vehicle. During that search, they found about 392 pounds of suspected cocaine, as you can see there. Troopers believe the drugs have an estimated street value of $9 million. The 27-year-old driver was arrested and is now facing multiple charges, including dealing a narcotic drug, a level 2 felony, and possession of a narcotic drug, a level 3 felony in that state. Well, moving on to the Maine coast now, where we're talking about alewives. Volunteers are needed to help the town of Penobscot document their alewife population there. In Penobscot, the alewife harvest is co-managed by the town and the Department of Marine Resources. The town is now pushing to retain its right to manage the fish locally, and part of that effort includes documenting how many alewives return to the pond each spring. So they set up a counting station, and volunteers count the alewives and then notify the state. They now need volunteers to come in, count fish entering the pond for 30 minutes each, and record the data.
The state requires 235 fish per acre to have a sustainable resource. So this pond needs somewhere around 27,000 fish entering the pond to have a sustainable resource.
Bowden says the town has done a lot of fishway improvements and they've seen the population triple in just the past few years. He says the alewife is popular with lobstermen as a less expensive alternative bait, and many people also enjoy smoking and eating them as well. Bowden says if the population satisfies the state and stays level, they hope to have a commercial alewife fishery in the town by 2029. We'll have contact information for signing up to be a volunteer on our website. And when we come back, we'll see what Mr. Food is cooking up in the test kitchen, and we'll also have your full weather forecast. Don't go away.
Winniport Sheds now offers home kits ranging in size up to 2,300 square feet. Our homes are built with 2x6 studs and can be fully customized with options for siding, windows, doors, and floor plans. Best of all, they are energy efficient and affordable. Our home kits typically cost 30 to 50% less than conventional construction homes. Only at Winniport Sheds. Give us a call today, 990-2525.
With over 30 years of experience, Patriot Contractors knows how to get your home renovation project done right. Our certified contractors can help you build, redesign, or finish the project of your dreams. Check out Facebook page for reviews and visit patriotgeneralcontractors.com to schedule your quote today. Patriot General Contractors, redesigning your properties for the future.
Who has the best kept secret in Penobscot County?
We do!
Welcome to Maple Lane Farms, a fifth-generation family farm that's committed to providing you with the best quality products. Our farm-raised local and sustainable meat is flash frozen to lock in the freshness and natural flavors. Experience the top-notch quality of our meat that's naturally raised without any antibiotics or hormones. Get the best of both worlds, quality and affordability. Try Maple Lane Farms today, the candy store for the carnivore. Got old metal and junk cars? Turn that clutter into cash at Daddy and Daughters. We make recycling easy, fast, and fair. From Skowhegan to Dover Foxcroft, from Troy to Lee, you can trust our certified scales and friendly service, offering top prices for junk vehicles in Maine. Whether you drop off or we pick up, Daddy and Daughters covers central and eastern Maine. Come see us at one of our 4 locations and watch your scrap pay off. Daddy and Daughters, turn scrap into cash.
With Maine's largest network of parts, Coastal Auto Parts keeps things moving. If it's got wheels and an engine, we've got the parts to keep it on the road and the drive to help more families in Maine. April is Autism Awareness Month, and Autos for Autism is back. That means you can join your local Napa Auto or Truck Care Center and your Coastal Auto Parts location to help families living with autism right here in Maine. Because serving our community is what keeps us going. Coastal Auto Parts is owned and operated by a Maine family that cares.
Spring is in full swing, and you know what that means. It's time to lighten up. So we came up with the perfect dessert that's an easy make-ahead for any potluck. And not only does it taste amazing, it takes just a handful of ingredients to make. All we do is prepare some lemon gelatin according to the package directions. Give it a good mix and pop it in the fridge to cool slightly, but not long enough to set up. Then we gently fold some whipped topping into the gelatin before adding a can of mandarin oranges that we've drained really well. All that's left to do is pour this into a graham cracker pie crust and put it back in the fridge to chill. Now, if you want a different flavor, you can easily swap out the lemon gelatin for a strawberry and switch out the oranges for your favorite berries. Have fun with it. When you taste this, get ready for a special treat, because the bright citrus and the creamy whipped topping are a perfect pair. And if you bring this to any get-together or potluck, it's like bringing a bit of sunshine with you. That's why we call it our Sunny Party Pie. And the recipe's online now, so you can make spring just a little brighter. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a fun way for you to say, "You back again?" Ooh, it's so good. Good?
Looks pretty tasty. Well, meanwhile, a group of Mainers turned a day off into a day of giving back. As our Alex Schley tells us, thanks to employees from University Credit Union, thousands of folks across Maine will not go without.
At the Augusta Civic Center Monday, University Credit Union employees came together not just to clock out, but to step up in celebration of National Volunteer Week.
Every box feeds over 200 people, so this team alone fed 4,000 people.
Employees spent the day scooping, pouring, and packing meals for food pantries across Maine.
Today we're going to pack over 41,000 boxes, and they're going to go as high as Presque Isle and as low down as Portland and even beyond.
More than 100 employees took part, working in teams to assemble meals.
They're going to get one of 2 meals. One is apple cinnamon oatmeal and the other mac and cheese. And each packet provides 6 servings out there for those that are getting those in the food pantries.
With the credit union closed for Patriots Day, many employees would have otherwise had the day off.
I mean, a day off might be nice, but honestly, being able to give back to our community in these ways is really, it's priceless.
Organizers say this is part of the credit union's annual Here For You Day of Service, held in conjunction with its Ending Hunger campaign.
People helping people is a philosophy that credit unions were built on, and being able to be out in our communities is something we're really passionate about. But this is an opportunity for us to all come together and make that difference for our communities.
Once packed, organizers say many of the employees hand deliver the meals to pantries across the state. In Augusta, Alex Schley for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
It looks like a little rain will be moving into the area tomorrow. When we come back, Devin Biggs will have your full 5-day forecast. Don't go away.
Lights, camera, cheese! The Cheese House is looking for its next star, and it could be you. If you're 21 or older, enter for your chance to appear in the next commercial. Stop by the Cheese House at 5 Pike Drive in Fairfield to enter. While you're there, browse their huge selection of glassware and 420 specialty foods. But we have the cheese! Remember, entries are happening in person at the Cheese House, 5 Pike Drive in Fairfield. Bring your personality, bring your smile, and we have the cheese.
Hi, I'm Tony with TC Hafford Basement Systems. All things basementy. Is your foundation shifting, settling, or cracking? Don't wait till it's too late. We offer the most reliable solutions to lift and stabilize your sinking foundation. With our advanced piering techniques, we'll ensure your home is back on solid ground. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems today for all things basementy.
Car accidents can be scary. It can feel like the whole world is crashing down around you. You can't work, you've got expensive medical bills, pain and suffering. Absolute chaos. We'll take the stress and frustrations off your shoulders. We've done that for thousands of people, and we're ready to help you too. Hurt in a car accident? I'm on top of it. I'm your go-to guy.
Call 222-2222.
My name is Rebecca Babrod, and I'm studying my master's in social work at the University of Maine. After high school, I went to college in upstate New York, but then got involved with life and family, so I had a college education, but no degree. When I first thought about going back to school, it seemed really intimidating. One of the great things about an online program is that you can combine studying as part of your day. I'm actually studying right now. It's such a great feeling to have made myself important in the process and to continue my education.
Well, it looks like a little rain will be falling in our area later on tomorrow into Thursday, but once we get through a couple of wet days, looks like a nice little stretch of weather, especially as we head into the weekend. For more on what we can expect, let's turn things back over to Devin.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center, now offering a 10% bonus on your returnables and a monthly $100 drawing. Alrighty, wave height's not too bad at around 1 to 2 feet. According to the buoys, we have no advisories in effect along the coast, while farther out towards sea at around 3 to 4 feet at this moment in time, so no problems along the ocean. We have high pressure right overhead, keeping things nice and quiet. Overall for today, we will be under a partly cloudy sky, so no problem at all for us. The winds will be nice and quiet. Here's our next little wave of energy that will be on the way soon. We'll be watching for a little bit of precipitation development that will be taking place soon. So here's that partly cloudy sky for us today, and that will be clearing out later on tonight as we head towards tomorrow. More clouds will be moving in, and notice those clouds right there with a little bit of precipitation, a little bit of snow to the northwest, but rain will be switching over for us as we see some of those temperatures rising. But by Wednesday night, though, we'll see those temperatures fall. So any rain that's falling could mix in with a little bit of snow at times. We might even see some snow accumulations out of this. So at maximum, it would occur at around 1 inch, but any accumulations that occur Wednesday night will melt away quickly on Thursday with any warmer temperatures. But it does count as precipitation. And of course, any precipitation in that case will be welcome as we're still in drought across the state. So any moderate to severe drought dents will definitely take at this point as we're still considered in drought. Other spots, not so much as we've seen some dents in the drought, but from Florida to the western parts of the U.S., a lot of places still in drought at this time. So any kind of dent we can make in the drought would definitely be some great news. But overall for today, upper 40s, partly cloudy, and that west breeze at about 5 miles per hour. And then overnight, partly cloudy still with middle 20s for the overnight low, and the wind looking nice and calm. And then tomorrow, some rain showers, otherwise mostly cloudy, middle 40s for the high. It's also Earth Day with that south wind at around 10 to 20 miles per hour. Alrighty, let's check out your extended forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center, showing rain chances for your Thursday with highs in the upper 40s. 40s, low 50s for your Friday, mostly cloudy with a slight chance for rain, and then partly cloudy coming up for your Saturday with highs in the mid-50s.
All right, thank you very much, Devin. Well, a high school teacher in Pennsylvania wins National Teacher of the Year. Leon Smith has spent his 25-year teaching career at Haverford High School. He teaches advanced placement classes in U.S. history and African American studies. Smith says he sets high expectations for his students, but teaches in a supportive manner by recognizing their hidden talents. And as he helps nurture them, he also brings students to the state capitol to engage with policymakers. A move that won praise from the Council of Chief State School Officers, the organization that gave him the annual award. So congratulations to him as being the Teacher of the Year. As Teacher of the Year, Smith will help promote the important role educators play in shaping their students' lives. And finally, a goose was on the loose on the field in the third inning of the Phillies-Cubs game at Wrigley Field on Monday. The goose, the Canada goose, can be seen observing the game as it wandered along the field. Eventually flying off. For a while there, just kind of hung out and stole the show there. Baseball players, though, had to keep doing what they're doing. The goose just watching it as it happens. Eventually, though, a little action in the outfield caused the goose to fly off, and I guess he's heading north for the summer. Kind of neat, though. All right, that'll do it for now, folks. We thank you so much for joining us. Beth Jones will be back here on the anchor desk at 6 o'clock tonight for ABC 7 News at 6. We hope you'll watch her then. In the meantime, we hope you have a great afternoon, and I'll see you back here tomorrow morning on Good Morning Maine. Have a good one.
Hi, Butch Robichaud from J&J Auto Salvage. Yep, been here 40 years, retiring this year. Turning the reins over to Anthony and the boys. Hope to serve you for another 40 years. The next time you're thinking about saving money on your car, give us a call. We got fenders, doors, motors, transmissions, you name it, whatever it is, we have it. We're down on the Brewer Lake Road. Everything we sell carries a 90-day warranty. And don't forget, best attitude in the business.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.